Noon and good afternoon on this Friday. How y'all doing out there? I know I'm doing good. Got the breath of life. Y'all been blessing me out there. And I always like to open up with just telling you thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. These hot little short video posts been blowing up off the shelves. Over 500,000 views, over 500,000 views. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Out of those 500,000 views, it got me to 425 subscribers. So close, the channel is so close to reaching that 500. I stated earlier on Wednesday, I did a live post on Wednesday. I called it midweek premiere. I just got to lock in the time when I'm going to do it. But back then, I was just at, I believe it was like 320 subscribers. On this 29th of August, we have jumped up to 425 subscribers, and the goal is what's the day? The 29th of August on a Friday. You know, I'm gonna keep sending those prayers up and hoping you all will bless me and get me to 500 subscribers in the next 2 days. My goal was with it being God's will and your will for those to tap in and subscribe to get us to 500 subscribers, and then I'll be able to increase the content. When a small channel starts out, it doesn't let you do live video posts or download. It doesn't let you download interviews or whatever. So, and then I got to subscribe to like threads and things of that nature to be able to download the clips and post them on the channel. But again, I just want to thank you all, thank you all, thank you all. As you all know, the college football season kicked off, and I'm gonna basically be using the midweek premiere on Wednesdays to do a recap on all college football, at least the top 25 teams or the top 10 teams, top 10 powerhouse teams, track them and give y'all some content and some information on that and how things are going. Today's Friday night. Colorado Buffaloes are playing against the Georgia Tech here in Atlanta, Georgia. Like I stated before, I reside here in Atlanta, Georgia. You know, everybody wants to see, nobody's giving Colorado any really just, what word I want to use, credit on them being able to do anything this year since Travis Hunter, you know, who won the Heisman Trophy, is gone, got, you know, selected number 2 in the draft, is playing for Jacksonville Jaguars. We all know Shedeur Sanders got dropped down to the 5th round, but he's playing quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. He's a third-string quarterback currently. Don't even want to get into that situation and why he's not the backup quarterback. But Shedeur's been saying, hey, he gets more time to cook and learn what it takes to be an NFL quarterback. And then, you know, who else is gone? LaJohntay Wester, who's playing for the Baltimore Ravens, he's gone. And then we got Jimmy Horn Jr. is playing down there with the Carolina Panthers. So with all them gone, people don't think that Colorado can do good. But in that draft portal, you know, Deion Sanders is saying it, and sports social media is saying that they feel like the Colorado has a more complete team, even though all those players are gone. You know, they had the superstars last year and shine with those handful of players, but this year they have a more complete team. Their offensive line is bulked up. They got 3 good linebackers. They got a hellified receiving crew. For Colorado, I'm really looking interested in watching that game. It comes on 6 o'clock time in Colorado. They're on Mountain Time. They're 2 hours back. And the game, I believe, is on ESPN at 8 o'clock. So I'm really looking forward to watching that game. But that's enough of that. Again, you know, I want to tell you all for giving me over 500,000 views already, the 425 subscribers. We just need 75 more between Friday, Saturday, and Sunday before the clock strikes midnight. I'm going to keep praying and asking for you all blessings to get us to 500 subscribers so I can get that email from YouTube saying the channel has reached the next level and we can blow up here. You know, I'm really, really excited for that to happen with you all help. So let's get into the NFL here. I want to talk some contract updates. I will speak the biggest news on contracts as far as Michael Parsons later on in the end of this, towards the end of this airing. I'm your host, Randy Prentice, Premier Sports Talk. Thank you for tapping in and thank you for supporting. Okay, we got Terry McLaughlin, who was holding out for the Commanders, the Washington Commanders. He did a contract worth $96 million. $96 million. He got a $30 million signing bonus. How about that? For the Baltimore Ravens, the safety, Kyle Hamilton, signed a 4-year deal worth $100 million. If these players are getting this much money, if the players are getting this much money, just imagine what the NFL owners are getting. Woo! They got the NFL owners got generational wealth that can pass on to generations, to generations, to generations. You know, and something that in doing some digging, I saw something come across social media, but it made me dig deeper. Out of the 32 NFL teams, here's a nugget I'm going to drop for you all. Out of the 32 NFL teams, 17 of the NFL teams have minority ownership. So out of the 32 NFL teams, 17 out of the 32 have minority NFL ownership. I'm going to do a separate live post on that just so everybody can have that knowledge. I had no idea that there was that many minority owners in the NFL. So that's just a good thought, you know. I feel, you know, and a lot of them are previous NFL players, you know, so that's going to help when there can be really all 32 minority ownership with the NFL teams. That'll do really good for the NFL players. They'll have a better representation. So again, for the Baltimore Ravens, Kyle Hamilton received a 4-year, $100 million deal. $84 million of that is guaranteed. The Cincinnati Bengals, they finally signed their best defensive player, Trey Hendrickson. Basically, his contract allowed him to get a raise for 2025, but he'll still be a free agent for 2026. So there was some give and take in that little negotiation deal there. He got a 1-year deal worth $14 million raise. And then, like I said, he's able to be a free agent next year. So when he got that $14 million raise, his contract for this year is worth $30 million. $30 million. Some trades that occurred right before the 53-man drop down roster cut requirement, and then some that happened right after the 53-man roster cut. If you don't already know, previous first-round quarterback Kenny Pickett, who played with the Pittsburgh Steelers initially, and then went on to play with the Philadelphia Eagles. He got traded to the Los Angeles Raiders. The Los Angeles Raiders backup quarterback Hayden O'Donnell broke his wrist, so they were in need of a backup quarterback really bad. So Kenny Pickett got the hell out of Cleveland, I don't blame him, and he's going to be the backup quarterback for the Los Angeles Raiders. With that trade, the Cleveland Browns got a 5th-round 2026 draft pick. So basically, the Cleveland Browns went to the Philadelphia Eagles to gave them a 5th-round draft pick. So Cleveland Browns got their draft pick back and was able to ship off Kenny Pickett to the Los Angeles Raiders. When the quarterbacks got hurt with the Cleveland Browns, when Kenny Pickett got hurt with the hamstring, Dylan Haber was hampered with a hamstring, they brought in Pro Bowl quarterback Tyler Huntley that played previously not only with the Cleveland Browns but also played with the Baltimore Ravens. It helped them out while Kenny Pickett and Dylan Gabriel was on the mend. Instead of him staying with the Cleveland Browns and remaining on the Cleveland Browns practice squad, he also did a smart thing, and he went back to the Baltimore Ravens. Very smart man. Very smart man. Tyler Huntley previously played with the Baltimore Ravens from 2020 to 2023, and he was selected for the Pro Bowl in 2022. Okay? The Packers traded for they traded for a 3-time Super Bowl Pro Bowl lineman to bolster up their offensive line. His name, acquiring him from the Philadelphia Eagles, his name is Darian Kincaid. Okay? And the Philadelphia Eagles get back let me look it up here, a 2027, not a 2026, a 2027 draft pick. The Philadelphia Eagles, they sent their backup quarterback, Sam Howell, to the Minnesota Vikings for a 2026 6th-round draft pick. The Minnesota Vikings, well, let me correct that. The Eagles acquired Sam Howell, the Minnesota Vikings backup quarterback. They get in return a 2026 5th-round pick and a 2027 7th-round pick. And then the Vikings got Carson Wentz off his couch, like Joe Flacco got caught up by the Browns off the couch, and he's going to be the backup quarterback for J.J. McCarthy. Just 2 days ago, from the Carolina Panthers, Hayden Thielen, who used to play with the Minnesota Vikings, he got shipped back to the Minnesota Vikings because the Minnesota Vikings got some starting wide receivers that are hurt. So the Carolina Panthers let Hayden Thielen go back to the Minnesota Vikings for a 5th and 6th round pick. Okay, I said I was going to bring up the Dallas Cowboys. I don't know if it's Jerry Jones's age. I don't know if he just didn't want to pay that type of money. But the money that Jerry Jones would have had to pay would have made him the highest paid non-quarterback, which is what the market is. You know, T.J. Watt got a pretty big restructured contract. Myles Garrett got a big contract. First, Myles Garrett had the big contract. Then T.J. Watt got a contract for more money than Myles Garrett. And then the negotiations got personal. Jerry Jones was saying first him and Parsons was having their own personal talks. Parsons, they had a verbal agreement. Once that verbal agreement was made, Parsons then told Jerry, okay, I need to go the rest of this way with my agent. Jerry took it personal. Things got heated. They never was able to negotiate things. And then Thursday, mind blowing on Thursday, or it was either late Wednesday night or Thursday, Jerry Jones, I just don't believe it, let Michael Parsons go. Not only did he let him go, he let him go to a team that's his rival, the Green Bay Packers. That's just ludicrous. Where was his son at? Where was his son at? To say, Dad, no, don't do this. Don't do this. Where was his son at? But so Michael Parsons got traded to the Green Bay Packers. The contract is worth $180 million. $180 million. Out of that $188 million, $136 million of that is guaranteed. The Cowboys got 2 first-round draft picks for 2025, and they grabbed one, and I forget the person's name off the top of my head. They was able to get the Green Bay Packers, one of their key defensive linemen. in place of Michael Parsons. You know, he is a good defensive lineman, but he is not Michael Parsons. Michael Parsons is a game changer. On suspensions in the NFL, the latest news is that Kansas City Chiefs, their wide receiver Rashid Rice, finally got his suspension handed down to him. He was involved in a felony, I believe, vehicle accident, and the NFL passed down a 6-game suspension starting next week. For week 1, they can appeal it. You know, if they put the appeal in, he may be able to get it dropped down to 4, but we'll have to see on that. But Rasheed Wallace is getting a 6-game suspension for felony vehicle charges starting next week. There were so many college games on last night. The only one I was really tapped into was Boston. Not Boston. It was the University of South Florida, and they tore the brakes off of Boise State. Boise State was ranked top 25 in the preseason rankings. University of South Florida wasn't ranked, but they beat the brakes off of them. The key college matchups for this weekend, the one starts tonight. I'll speak on that one last. But we got LSU and Clemson going against each other. We got Texas and Ohio State. That's the Arch Manning debut. I'm watching that one. We got Alabama, University of Alabama Roll Tide going against Florida State. Whoa! Florida State was my team back in the day. Roll Tide was my team when Nick Saban was there. Y'all might be saying, oh, I'm a bandwagon fan. For years, I was a Florida State fan. Then I started following Nick Saban while he was there. I was a fan of Nick Saban with Alabama. I was rolling with the Tide. And then when I got locked on with Deion Sanders when he became a college coach, we started at Jackson State, HBCU, a historically black college university. I started following Deion Sanders there with Shiloh and Shador. Then when he moved on to Colorado, I stuck with him, and I'm still riding with him now. So we got Colorado facing Georgia Tech tonight. It's going to be a test for both teams, but I'm going to give you my picks on this so you'll know prior to my midweek premiere on Wednesday what my picks were. It's a toss-up between LSU and Clemson, but if that coach for LSU, he lost the last 2 years, the first game of the season. If he loses the first game of the season this year, he may be on a hot seat. But I'm more of an LSU fan than a Clemson fan. Everybody's saying this is Clemson's year, but I'm taking LSU. Between Texas and Ohio State, I am not an Ohio State fan at all. Never was, never will be. So I got to take Texas there with Arch Manning, even though he's really inexperienced, but I'm still riding with Arch Manning in that game. Alabama Roll Tide against Florida State. I'm taking the Tide in that one. And then Colorado against Georgia Tech. I just told you I was a Deion Sanders fan. So I got the Colorado Buffaloes in that. But, without you all support, I got my channel's grown since July 4th because of these short video posts. So I really haven't been getting that much engagement on my live feeds. So what I've been doing to try to draw more attention on these live feeds is I've been doing my short video posts, but it says related videos are always attached. My live video posts, so that can get some engagement. Again, the YouTube algorithm will not boost the channel if you all can just give me that support. Hit a like, it's free. Hit a comment, it's free. Hit that share button, pass it on to somebody. The more engagement, the quicker the channel blows up. because I'm really excited to be able to post live video clips and interviews and things of that nature. You know, it's like being in the basement. You're going up the steps. You keep going up the steps. You keep going up the steps, and I'm almost. I've been in the basement. I've been in the dark here. Premier Sports Talk. Been in the dark, and I'm 3/4 of the way. 200 before I got on. 225 subscribers. We hit that 500 mark. That YouTube algorithm's going to get me to the next level, not that top level, but it'll get me to that next level so I can have more content. You all that subscribe, my Premier soldiers sitting at the Premier table, I'm almost to where I can get to that top step and hit that light switch, and get to 500 subscribers and do good things. But again, thank you all for blessing me. I don't try to take up too much of your time, 30 to 45 minutes. I haven't, I've really been going between 25 and 30, to try to keep the attention span there, but I can give you more direct content. I know I got some Atlanta Falcons fans. I know I have some New York Giants people that I'm close to that subscribe. I know I have a person I served in the military that's a Tampa Bay fan, I'm born and raised from Pittsburgh, so there's going to be a lot more Pittsburgh Steelers content in here. So I just need you all support, so I can, like I said, so we can grow the channel, get more content in here, and do some wonderful things. Thank you all for being a blessing to Premier Sports Talk. Thank you for blessing me, and may you bless somebody else along the way. Because the word tells us it is better for us to give than receive. And real talk here, when we are able to give, God always finds a way to give it back to us in double measures. And one last thing, it just hit my mind. In order for us to get through the trials and get through the storms, in any facet of our life, we got to go through it to get through it. And already within us, God gave us everything we need to make it to the other side. All we got to do is believe and trust in his word and get his word planted within us, and we'll see the light. And we'll share that experience with somebody else that'll give them hope. Till next time. Y'all take care. Appreciate you all. Randy Prentice, host of Premier Sports Talk. Listen with me. Watch with me. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, and be a blessing to somebody. God is good.